What happens when a teenage shepherd with no armor, no sword, and no experience takes on a battle-hardened giant over 9 feet tall? This isn't just a story of courage, it's the ultimate underdog story. And it actually happened. Welcome to David versus Goliath, the battle that changed the fate of a nation. You've heard of it. But do you really know what went down in the valley of Elah? Why did a king offer his daughter and riches to a boy who could fight this beast? And how did a slingshot become one of the most legendary weapons in biblical history? Let's dive into the full story of David and Goliath, like you've never heard it before. The year roughly 1025 BC, on the valley of Elah. On one hill, the Israelites, and other, the Philistines. For 40 days this fear had festered. 40 days of taunts, of challenges met with silence. 40 days of watching a giant stride across the battlefield, his booming voice echoing across the valley, a constant reminder of their helplessness. The Israelites were a people accustomed to hardship, to relying on their God, but the sheer size of their enemy, the audacity of his challenge, had shaken them to their core. Goliath. The name itself sent shivers down the bravest spine. He was a mountain of a man clad in bronze armor that glinted menacingly in the sunlight. His spear, thick as a weaver's beam, was a terrifying spectacle. Every morning he would emerge from the Philistine ranks, his voice a rumbling thunder in their ears. "Choose a man to fight me," he would bellow. "If he is able to kill me, we will become your slaves. But if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our slaves." His words, laced with arrogance and disdain, were a venomous barb to the heart of the Israelite army. Each day they watched, listened, and trembled. No one dared answer Goliath's challenge. Far from the valley of fear, in the peaceful hills of Bethlehem, a young shepherd named David tended to his flock. Unaware of the drama unfolding on the battlefield, David lived a life of simple routines. He knew the rhythm of the seasons, the calmness of the night sky, the comforting presence of his sheep. He was a boy, untouched by the fear that gripped the Israelite army. One day, David's father Jesse summoned him. "Take this food to your brothers and see how they are doing," he instructed. David, ever obedient, gathered the supplies and made his way towards the valley of Elah. As he approached the camp, a wave of unease washed over him. He heard whispers of a giant, of fear that clung to the air like a shroud. His brothers, grim-faced and defeated, confirmed his fears. David listened, his heart swelling with a courage he didn't fully understand. Word of David's arrival and his outrage at Goliath's defiance reached King Saul. Saul, burdened by the weight of his responsibility, summoned the young shepherd. He saw in David's eyes a spark, a glimmer of hope in the face of despair. Yet, Saul was a seasoned warrior, a king. He looked at David's youthful face, his slender frame, and doubt clouded his hope. "You are just a boy," Saul protested, "and this man has been a warrior from his youth." But David, his voice calm and steady, replied, "Your servant has killed both lions and bears that have attacked his flock. This Philistine will be like one of them, for he has defied the armies of the living God." David's words, infused with unwavering faith, struck a chord in Saul's heart. He saw in David's eyes not arrogance but a quiet confidence, a belief in a power far greater than himself. Saul, swayed by David's conviction, offered him his own armor. He envisioned David clad in the same bronze and leather that protected him, a miniature version of a seasoned warrior. But the armor, heavy and cumbersome, felt foreign to David. He was a shepherd, accustomed to the feel of a sling in his hand, the weight of a smooth stone. "I cannot go in these," David declared, removing the armor and picking up his staff and sling. He chose 5 smooth stones from the nearby brook, his movements deliberate, almost ceremonial. These were his weapons, simple yet deadly in the hands of one who had honed his skill through years of protecting his flock. David, armed with his faith and his sling, approached the battlefield, a stark contrast to the towering figure that awaited him. Goliath, upon seeing David, roared with laughter. He couldn't fathom the audacity of this shepherd boy, this insignificant speck challenging his might. "Am I a dog," he bellowed, "that you come at me with sticks?" He cursed David, invoking the names of his Philistine gods. David, undeterred by the giant's taunts, met his gaze with unwavering resolve. "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin," David declared, his voice echoing across the silent battlefield. "But I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel whom you have defied." With a swift motion, David loaded his sling. The stone, propelled by the force of his faith and years of honed skill, found its mark, sinking into Goliath's forehead. The giant, his arrogance silenced, crumpled to the ground, his massive frame shaking the very earth beneath him. The story of David and Goliath is more than just a battle won. It is a timeless testament to the power of courage, the unwavering strength found in faith, and the triumph of the human spirit against seemingly insurmountable odds. It reminds us that size and strength are not the ultimate measures of victory. David's triumph resonates even today, echoing in the hearts of those who face their own giants. We all encounter challenges that loom large, situations that make us doubt our abilities, fears that threaten to overwhelm. But the story of David reminds us that with faith, courage, and a firm belief in a power greater than ourselves, even the most daunting giants can be overcome. It's a call to remember that our battles are not ours alone to fight. Like David, we have access to an inner strength, God's strength, a source of courage that allows us to face our fears, confront our challenges, and emerge victorious, no matter how small we may feel in the face of adversity. The story of David and Goliath isn't just ancient history, it's a reminder that no giant is too big when God is on your side. So, what's the Goliath in your life? Fight it with God's power. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more epic Bible stories told like never before.